9 of our sourdough starter journey. My name is Robin. This is Raincross Farms Bakery. And it is, like I said, the morning of day 9. And we actually have 2 sourdough starters in the process. So here is our first one that we started 9 days ago. And it is bubbly, not rising a lot, but it is growing a little bit in between feedings. So we are going to feed this one and we're going to take a look at our other one. So let me get my discard jar out of my fridge because every morning we are going to do a discard. Now there's 2 different ways. This is our second week. There's 2 different ways we can go about feeding this. If it is flourishing and bubbling and growing every time, we can switch to a once-a-day feeding. But if it is still a little sluggish, which I think this one is, we continue with our twice-a-day feeding. So that's what I'm going to do with this one. But we are going to start with our discard. So we're going to take all but about a half a cup out of this one. And we're going to store this in the fridge. Now this is nice and bubbly on the inside, so that's a very good sign. That's a good sign, and we will put this away, and we can bake with it. If you were with us yesterday, we baked some sourdough pancakes with our discard. But I'm going to store that in the fridge, and then I'm going to feed this as usual. So this is our 1/4 cup of all-purpose flour. This is unbleached. And 3 tablespoons of warm water. This is, I switched over to filtered water. I'm so sorry, I got an alarm on my phone, and when I went to turn off the alarm, I turned off the video and I filmed the rest of this segment. I didn't film the rest of this segment. So let me just kind of pick up where we left off. I said I am using filtered water. I switched over because I wondered if maybe my well water has something in it that my starter didn't like. But anyway, I stirred it up and scraped down the sides and readjusted the band, and we're gonna let this sit. And I also talked about my pineapple juice starter that we started yesterday, and according to the directions, day 2, we don't do anything but stir it a couple of times a day. So that's what I'll do. And no bubbles. It's just sitting there gathering its yeast, I guess. Still smells nice. It still smells like the pineapple juice. But again, we talked about we're only going to be doing pineapple juice 2 times in the beginning, and then we switch over to just water and flour. So our sourdough starter won't have a pineapple tang. And so we're just going to stir this, cover it, and let it sit for the rest of the day. And we will actually do a day 3 feeding on it tomorrow. So I am not going to be filming, I'll be filming morning and evening. I'm not going to be posting 2 different videos every day. I'm going to put the 2 together, so one video will have both the AM and the PM feedings. If you are interested in any of my guides for week 1 for the regular sourdough, week 2 and beyond for the regular sourdough, or the pineapple method, comment guide in the comments, and I will make sure I get you some free PDF copies of these guides. So again, thanks for joining us here at Raincross Farms Bakery. We'd love it if you would follow us on Facebook and TikTok and subscribe on YouTube, and that would help us out a lot. In the meantime, have a great day, and we will see you in magic time, just a moment, for the evening feeding, and have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye. Welcome back. It's Robin again from Raincross Farms Bakery. It is now the evening of day 9 of our sourdough starter series. So let's get these taken care of so we can get to bed. Okay, so here is our original sourdough starter. It's still bubbly. It's not growing a lot, but it is getting a little bit of growth in between, which is those bubbles rising it up. So we are still at the point where we are feeding this twice a day, mainly because it still seems a little sluggish. So during the second week, I'm still feeding it twice a day. So I am going to, this is the evening feeding, so I'm not going to do any discard. I'm just going to add my quarter cup of all-purpose flour and my 3 tablespoons of water. 1, 2, 3, and stir that up and stir it in. Give it its feeding. And I'm going to scrape down the sides as well as I can. I've got quite a bit of dried stuff on the walls, so probably tomorrow I'll end up changing this out into a clean jar, but I'm scraping down the sides as much as possible. And clean off my finger. And I'm going to give it a new coffee filter on top, put on its lid, and there we go. I'm going to move up this rubber band so that I can see how much it rises overnight, and this is ready to put back in its warm, dry spot for another 12 hours. Now this is our pineapple juice solution starter that we are experimenting with. This is now about 36 hours old, and the instructions are for the first day, you just feed it the very first time, and days 1 and 2, you just stir it vigorously 2 to 3 times a day. So a couple of times already today, I've stirred this up. I'm just going to stir it up some more. And then we will give it a second feeding tomorrow. So you'll have to tune in for that video tomorrow. I'm gonna scrape down these sides. It's bubbly, but I think that's just because I stirred it. Still smells a little bit like pineapple juice. Doesn't have a bad smell. So let's hope it is doing what it needs to get started. So that is the evening of day 9. So thanks for joining us. If you want to get a copy of my guides, I have one for the first week of my basic sourdough starter. I've got a guide for weeks 2 and beyond of that same starter. And then I've got information about this new method that we're giving a try. I have not tried it, so we're experimenting together. If you are interested in getting a free PDF copy of these guides, type guides in the comments and I will make sure I get one to you. So again, thanks for joining us. Again, we're also just doing, instead of 2 videos a day, I'm just combining them in one. I'm still doing feedings AM and PM, but I'm putting them all in one video, so you only have to look for one thing per day. So thanks for joining us, and hope you catch us tomorrow. Bye-bye. Have a good night.